close that. Make sure the mic's working. Fa la 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 la. Make sure audio is working. Because apparently I don't know what happens from day to day. What haven't I heard from you yet? Let's do your Ascension Climax. So let's just unmute. Let's do your Ascension Climax. And muting mic. Let's just unmute.
Run. Hunt. No. No. Must become stronger. Run. Hunt. No. No. Must become stronger. Sharpen claws, sharpen teeth, 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 become stronger. Sharpen claws, sharpen teeth.
I should also unmute myself one more time.
Bennett, much talking. Eat with him, never full. Bennett, much talking. Eat with him, never full. Bennett, much talking.
Okay,
Eat with him.
Stop. That's just gonna make a feedback loop forever.
Assemble!
Okay, so I think I have bounce right. I'll just lower the game volume a little bit, and I'll up my mic to compensate. That seems about right. Because I don't want my mic to be too loud, and I don't want the game to be too quiet. Then again, I just want to make sure they're not the same volume, otherwise it's just going to be noise upon noise upon noise. So you'd be hearing my voice and the sound effects and the music, then the voice lines. It's like you kind of want to have a priority of each one. Anyway, so we're still grinding for Razor. We have what do we have here? Oh, we got 2 of these, so we're on our way. So I guess first topic of the day would be so I tried playing Fire Emblem Heroes again, and okay, first of all, it took a while to remember my actual account, which is fine. I've made a note of it, so it's all good now. And the main reason I'm doing it is because I wanted to play Manuel, the new warrior class, because she's a what was it, knight? I think it's a knight or guardian is her classification. So she's a sword user and she can only move like one space at a time. For obvious reasons I went for that. Except I tried to grind for her, and thankfully I haven't played the game in a while, so I had a lot of like gems to actually hunt through. So I had a lot of chances. But turns out I had to go through 40 pulls just to get her, guaranteed. And that's kind of ridiculous, frankly. I didn't. I got the Corrupted Ike. I got another sword character because I was just doing red purely for her.
Next on the
and
agenda.
I didn't get her for 40 pulls, which is. I understand the chances, like, what was it? What was the chance? It's like 3.5%. So, being unlucky, that means I wasn't going to get her for a while. But at the same time, good lord, that was the definition of unlucky. I mean, I got her eventually. Had to go for the actual guarantee thing, so... Although that's supposed to be kind of a, oh, you haven't. It's supposed to be, oh, you've paid money because you're like throwing summons out like crazy. And if you really wanted to go for the guarantee, you would, what was it? So it's 5 for an initial, 4 for 3 additional, and then 3 for the final one. So if you want to go for a full 40 pulls, which would be like 8 sets of 5, you would need 5 plus. I'm blanking. 5, 12, 20. You need 20. So you would need a total of 160. But yeah, I was trying to go for her. I only went red, so I did the uneconomical route because I didn't get anyone else. Then again, to be fair, I didn't really want anyone else. Also, thankfully, the way it what am I doing? Is this not navigate? Yeah. Thankfully, when you get the free poll, it just says, okay, here are these 4 featured units, which one do you want? Which I think is an interesting pity system. Because it's like, you've tried pulling for so long, okay, here you go, which one do you want? Instead of like, still leaving up to chance, you can now pick. Which is, I think, a good pity system, if you truly are that unlucky. Which I was. What else were there? I know there was a summer thing being... a summer banner. I'll need to pull up Nux, because I was using an emulator for it. Because I don't have enough space on my phone, and it's like, I'm not cheating with the emulator, so whatever. But yeah, so far I'm just grinding her up, so that's gonna take a little bit. But I am happy to, that I actually did get a few good units. I got the Fallen Ike, I got, oh, who else did I get? Oh, also, actually, no, first thing I'm gonna talk about is that apparently, while I wasn't playing the game, they changed, the way, like, 5-star, summons look. So before you would just kind of go like, oh, it's you've got the thing. It shakes once. Oh, it's a 4-star, or it's like, oh, it shakes once, twice. Then it's like done. Then the summon. That means it's a 5-star. No, they introduced a new animation where if it shakes once, thing glows. And you see a silhouette. But if you see question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, that means you got a 5-star, because then a star falls from above into the 4 stars, and you get that 5-star character. Now, if you know what the silhouette looks like, you're going to either be incredibly hyped because you know what that shadow is, you know who's coming. But if you don't know the shadow already, no, I'm saying. No, if you don't know the shadow, you'll be pleasantly surprised, because like, it could be anyone. But if you know the shadow and you're looking for a particular unit, then you'd be like, oh, it's Ryoma, which I got, another Ryoma. Oh, it's Nagatiki. Actually, speaking of all this stuff, I've apparently have a lot of units of Fire Emblem Heroes. Like, a lot of 5-stars, but then again, that's because in Heroes, all heroes have a maximum rating of a 5-star. So it just determines their starting point as opposed to the actual end point. It also makes some characters harder to grind than others. Kind of. Because you can get a 4-star unit, let's say Leo, for example. He could be a 4-star unit. But he can also be a 5-star unit if you're lucky. Camilla could be a 3-star, 4-star, or a 5-star unit. And I think at the beginning of the game, if you ever got a Camilla, it would play a certain cutscene for Camilla because, oh, it's the new character, so we're gonna show off. which it's fine when that's a 5-star, but when it became a 3 and 4-star, it was like, maybe you've over-tuned it a little bit. But no, it's like, in a gacha game, you kind of need to have... I would say... not subversion, but... you need to have it so that you know that you have a chance at another 5-star. So, War of the Visions, the way that animation works is that you have a book, which is either bronze, silver, or gold. If it's bronze, you've got at least a 3-star, which is like the lowest that you could possibly have. If it's silver, you've got at least a 4-star, which is the second most thing you can have. And if you have gold, you have, well, a 5-star, so pretty self-explanatory. Except, well, first of all, you've got what's craft essence and the actual characters. So when the book opens, a gem flies into it, and it opens up, and it reveals the shape of the crystal. If it's like an hourglass shape, you've got either an Esper or a craft essence, and probably that's what you're guaranteed. Like this is the last thing in the poll, which is being shown to you. But and if it's a diamond shape, you're getting a character. So, and then it will appear through gates. If you got the bronze book, you will start in front of blue. If you started at silver, you start in front of gold. And if you're rainbow, you start in front. Oh, sorry. And if you're gold, you start in front of rainbow. However, during that gate sequence, you can actually have the gates turn. And if it's a 4-star, it will always be a 5-star that you'll get if it starts turning. If you got a 3-star, then it can either go one direction for a 4-star, or it can go. It's either it goes one way for a 4-star, and then it goes the other way for a 5-star, or it can spin twice. I think it's just bi-directional. And then for
My apologies.
and then for a rainbow, it can't go down, and there's nothing up above, so that's fine.
You can't run.
I know the original Brave Exvius, it had a crystal that would come down, and it would be either blue, yellow, rainbow, or pulsating red. And the ranks in Brave Exvius were 1-star, 2-star, which were from friend summons, which were fine at the very start, but it's like completely worthless now because all you get from them is
Judgment.
skills, effectively.
For Rex Lapis. No touching.
Let me try to
You
think.
can't run.
The gem could be white if it was a 1 or 2-star. I don't think it differentiates between that. Blue if it's a 3-star. Yellow if it's a 4-star. Rainbow if it's a 5-star. And pulsating red for a Neo Vision, which is the highest rank you could possibly get. Effectively your 8-star. And you have to tap on a crystal when it appears. And if the crystal will start opening, and then it will break and it'll flash to white. If it stays white for I think it's like half a second, and then comes back in, it will come back in as a new color, the next one in the chain. I actually kind of made an scuffed animation about this, basically showing how it would work. Although I made it in reverse because it's funny to go like, "Hi, you got a really rare thing. Oh no, you got a 4-star. Oh, what's it gonna be? It's gonna go back. Oh no, it's a 3-star, and then lower and lower." Pausing. But the crystal can break up to a maximum of blue into yellow into blue into yellow, yellow into rainbow, rainbow into maximum of 3 times. And I think early on, the game allowed you to get units like a 4-star as a 5-star, because I had the Emperor from Final Fantasy II as a 5-star as well as a 4-star. but I think they changed that or they changed that at some point so that when you get a 5-star, it's a guaranteed 5-star from the 5-star pool, and not, oh, you wanted to get Elena, like the CG version, but you instead got I'm trying to remember, Holiday Rain or something. And I thought the animation was pretty cool, because you kind of know what was going on, because you were always waiting for that to break and then reform, and because it was really instant, and you know it wasn't a reform when it was kind of like, oh, you just, you know, when it's all white, and it's like you're now waiting for like 5 seconds or 3-4 seconds. In War of the Visions, it goes through the whole. Oh no. Actually, War of the Visions and the original does this, where it then goes through the list of all your crystals. If you're doing a multi-pull, which we're assuming a multi-pull, so it will go through them, and it will also do the breaking animation for some of these, because it only does because the animation you see at first is only for the last pull you do. So that basically means which I thought. Stop. Meh. There you go. Oh, check the mic. Yep, mic's on. Cool. Just being sure. So that meant you always had like a chance. Even like you had like 3 total chances of getting the thing you wanted. You had the initial chance, then you had the secondary chance, and then you had the final chance, which is when you're actually getting the characters. I think Genshin is the only one that doesn't quite do that. I mean, it technically starts off at a blue summon, and then it becomes rainbow as it comes down from the sky. It would be nice if there was a little bit, like when you're pulling the summon, a silhouette appears, but then it like falls or something, or like the silhouette appears and then it like ignites or gets turned to dust or gets just evaporates to water or something. Basically something to say you're not getting whatever you're seeing, you're getting something else. High Impact actually doesn't do this. I think, at least, because I've seen the animation for anything from a C, or was it B ranking to a S ranking, and the only thing I can think of is that the dust it emits is slightly different each time you do a pull. But that's... It's either that or the box, but I'm pretty sure the box is just the same emblem. Because the light it emits is just blue light, so it's not blue light, orange light, which is what this game uses for like the highest ranking, so it's like a 5-star. Was there any other? I know X Dive does it, where if you've got a 3 or 4-star, you just get like the basic colors of like what was it? Like yeah, so when the door opens, you the door has a certain color. I think it's green, and then if it's 5-star, it's like going rainbowy, so you know you got something good. When you go to some of the characters, it will a 3-star will play just the basic pull animation, which is just like, oh, thing light up, thing go boom, and then you get the character. If it's a 4-star, or actually no, I'm gunning things ahead. if you're doing a multi-poll, it shows you a list of all the things. So blue, purple, and orange, which is, as you expect, 3, 4, and 5 star. And then you go down the list in order, and I think there are a couple chances for redos or like surprises. So at the door segment, you can enter the door, and then it closes, and then you have to do the pull animation again. And I think for pulling the actual characters or weapons, it will like just try to re-pull the animation, I think. So it will do like the purple effect, which will also do like certain sparks and whatnot, and then I think it will do some animation. I actually haven't seen it yet, but I know it happens. But if I had to imagine, it's going to be along the lines of, oh, you do, you're about to pull it, and then it like shuts down, and then it reboots again.
You can't run.
It would be interesting if they included like Dr. Light or something, because again, that's supposed to be a Mega Man gacha game, and Dr. Light has a very neutral appearance, which again, it's supposed to be a game mode. It's supposed to be like, oh, you're not actually in X Dive. It's why you can play characters like Awakened Zero, and why it makes sense because quite literally they are characters under your control. Yeah, also explains why you can have multiple characters, because they're not actually the characters. You're more like controlling their shell. Because the point is, in that game, you're the player. You're playing a game. Which is a good way of saying like, well, it's not like an isekai, but at the same time, it's not exactly putting you as a character in the game, because the player character is different from the rest of the cast. I know Toho has a certain animation it plays. I don't remember it again because it's been a while.
All hail. You can't run.
Is there really no animation? Dragalia lost. I think. Oh, what did it do? It for a multi-summon, it dropped down a ring of different icons and all that. So it would be like a weapon or an egg. If you got an egg, it means you got either a character. No, was it? No, I think a weapon was a character, and it was either an egg or a staff meant you got a dragon, which is like equivalent to an Esper or something. I know Fate Grand Order do. It will do a. It will do a pull. It will do the animation where it like spins around as either a single ring or multiple rings. If the ring is blue, then you've got a rare thing. If it goes golden, it means you've got a 4 or a 5 star. If it goes rainbow, it means you've got a 5 star. But only for the servants. Which I guess makes sense. Although it would be nice if you knew, oh, you're getting a 5-star craft essence. So it wasn't kind of a annoying surprise, because it's like, oh, because you get more 5 stars than what you'd imagine, because craft essences are really okay. I have no idea what you're doing. Blocking these. Sorry, YouTube stuff. I don't know what is going on. Just people appearing, putting random things in. I wouldn't recommend touching, because I don't know what they mean. It's not a valid comment.
Thank you for bad, Astra.
But yeah. But also if you get a a silver summon, I think it can like spark, and it'd be like it's either what is it? It can spark gold, and it can go into a gold card, which is either a 4 or 5 star, which at that point they look basically identical, and the only way you will know is if you see the class on the back. Which, if it's like a saber, it's going to be a golden like person holding a sword. If it's a lancer, it's someone holding a lance. Archer, someone holding a lance. Caster, a mage. Rider, someone on horseback, I think. Let me just quickly look this up to double check. Rider, card back. Oh yeah, it's someone on a carriage. Assassin is basically death with 2 twin knives. Berserker is just this monster-looking thing. What? Foreigner, I think, is looking. Was it foreign? How do I describe this one? Oh no, sorry. Ruler is someone who looks like a female emperor. Avenger is someone bound up in chains. Moon Cancer is ironically saved for BB. Alter Ego is like 2 gestures, one going up, one going down. And who's the last one? Because I know. Okay, the last one would be the Foreigner. And then there's one more, which is the Pretender, which is effectively the default version of. Oh, that looks like a Arsene. That's actually pretty neat. Which is supposed to be the base version of. What's the name? Alter Ego. Because the Alter Ego can affect riders, casters, and assassins. But the Pretender, which is a new class, can affect sabers, lancers, and archers. Berserkers can hit everything, but they also get hit hard by everything, so it's kind of a risk versus reward deal of them. What else? Casters are good into assassins and bad into riders. Riders are good into casters, but not into assassins. And assassins are good into riders and not into casters. Which I like to think that it's like assassin tries to go on a caster, but a caster has kind of already foreseen this event, so they've just set up a trap to stop the assassin. The assassin can march up to a rider and like slit their throat on a horseback, while the rider can just charge to a caster while they're casting the spell, because apparently casters can't see or can't ordain a horse or just something moving a million miles an hour. Sabers are good into lancers because saber has to get very close while a lance has to keep the distance, and swords are really quick to move, so I guess that's the logic. Well, let's just do some request bounties. And while archers can like volley a saber, I guess they can't do that for a lancer, because I guess the logic is a lance can throw their lance and it becomes a spear and it just goes blah. Not sure about why alter egos can affect one class or the other. Berserkers makes a lot of sense because it's just someone rampaging and they can hit everything. What about... what was it? Moon Cancer is good into Avenger, which is good into Ruler, which is back into Basically, you just got triangles going on. And I think so far, I'm trying to think. 1 star has nothing special. There's only like the sabers, the sabers, the casters, like the basic traits. No alter egos, no Avengers, so on and so forth. 2 star has Anra, which although I think in the game's coding, Anra is marked as a 2 star for consistency, but he is like Omega rare, mainly because he's supposed to be a 0 star and you can only get him from friend summons.
Incinerate!
Is Anra any good?
Raymond!
He can do in a pinch, but he's not that great. He's basically Noble Phantasm is all about taking damage and then dealing all that damage back, which is like fantastic. You play Pokemon, you know that Bide does that, where it does so much damage and or you take damage and you throw it out, but you have to survive the hits. The issue is that when you use it, I think you only get 1 turn to properly absorb damage, and it's a catch-22 because you want to take a lot of damage, but Anra doesn't really have that much health. But at the same time, you probably take a lot of damage trying to get to that point, so you kind of have one of 2 solutions. If you know how to prep up properly, you can put a revive on Anra. I think invincibility nullifies all damage anyway, so it doesn't count. You'd have to put effectively revives on Anra and have him take buttloads of damage, just just getting completely dominated. But at the same time, he's not going to do that much damage, because for him to effectively be any use, you would have to take so much damage that you're fine basically wasting the potential and having an actual character. I think his skills are fine.
This is long overdue.
But he's the only 2-star Avenger. There's a 2-star Avenger. I forget who he is. It's supposed to be like Beethoven's rival. I will think so eventually. Red and black.
You can't run.
Opening box of Adepti
Remember his name. I don't want to pull up the game just to check. He was no Antonio. I think it was Antonio. Antonio Solari. That's it. That's his name. Solari. I think that was his name.
My apologies.
And he's the only Avenger in 3-star. There are no rulers in 3-star. There are no alter egos in 3-star or 2-star below. 4-star is when you start getting your alter egos, your moon cancers, your your rulers, your moon cancers, your alter egos. Say it. Oh, and your foreigners as well. And when I say foreigners, it's quite literally they're foreign to that universe. Like they came from another universe entirely, which is weird because that would also mean like characters like Space Ishtar would be deemed foreigners, but it's not exactly. It's like supposed to be out of Earth in that universe, but apparently other universes can. It's so weird how they classify what's what. But I guess it makes sense. I'm trying to think. Rulers are generally good into every class that isn't Avenger, because they get absolutely decimated by Avenger, because the point of Avenger is supposed to be a solution to rulers. Oh, please don't tell me you're immune to ice. You're immune to ice, aren't you? You're one of these guys. No, you're not immune to ice. Okay.
Whirling snow.
But yeah, rulers are the ultimate tanks. Because they get a lot of health, they do a fair amount of damage, and they usually set up. So if you want to stall to the nth degree, rulers are cute, generally.
Orders given. Orders received.
You can't run.
I'm trying to think. Avengers
Take
are
flight.
only good into rulers, but they're fine everything else. They're not weak to anything, but they're also not resistant to anything. Well, they're weak to... they're weak to... Oh, frick. Wait, you're not even out of the area! Look at that! Oh my god! Wait, are you bugged?
Punishment.
Oh my god, you might actually be completely bugged.
This is long overdue. Take flight.
Moon Cancer is an interesting one because, again, they need the solution to...
Whirling snow.
Why do you need to be that far away? They need the solution to Avengers because then... Oh, Avengers was just generally the best one.
Opening
Because
box of
if you ever met a ruler, fine.
Take flight.
But at the same time, you kind of needed to beat an Avenger when you saw one, and that can be relatively powerful. And that's why, like, what was it? The Surath event came in, so it gave you the 4-star BB, which is a fine enough unit, and she's fine. She does healing, and I think she does some good single target damage. But she also has a what's it? You've got Kiara, who is a
This is long overdue. Access
Where
denied.
am I thinking? Oh, there you go. No, so BB's alter ego twice. Not alter ego. Moon Cancer twice. I think, was it Kiara says something is a Moon Cancer? I know Vishnu is... Vishnu? Was it Vishnu? Hold on, let me look this up. Is it actually... Ah, no. So if I just look up Moon Cancer. Janako Karigiri, which I think is Ganesh? Yeah, because they are... Advanced Theory. Secret Mage, Secret Master, of course. I thought it was... Ganesha, that's it, Ganesha. 15 minutes, I can do that. Carrots, I can do that. Iron Chunks, I can do that. So the whole point is everything has a weakness, which is kind of, well, it's kind of how a lot, is it how a lot of things works? I know in this game everything's element based, so oh, for frick's sake, no, not this one. So everything's got its weakness, everything kind of has its strength. Actually, I think not many other gacha games have a weakness chart as such. X-Dive doesn't have a weakness chart. It's generally your playstyle, so if you like sprayer things, you go for sprayer. If you like machine gun things, you go machine gun. If you like rocket launchers, you go rocket launchers. And it's generally how you make use of the tools and not so much the tools themselves.
Judgment.
War of the Visions, there is a
Blaze over.
weakness charts in terms of
Shiver.
fire, water, ice, so on and so forth, light, darkness, and I think weapon types are also included, but it really doesn't matter because unless you're facing a really tanky enemy, you're not going to take much damage, or you're not going to lose much damage. Honkai Impact does have a weakness chart, which is, what is it? Mecha into biology, into psychic, into... well, mecha again. And then quantum and imaginary. Anything else? No, I think that's it. Oh, and okay, we're doing carrots for this, cool. No, but I think that's it. No, I think was it? I know the original Brave Exvius does have a. Oh god, there's so many cats. Maybe too many cats. I know that has an elemental weakness, so certain bosses take elemental damage or they take physical damage. I know the final boss of like the first book, first adventure was it? I think was immune to everything but like light. But then again, that was more a that was just like the hardest boss, mainly because at that point, was it CG units weren't even no, were CG units a thing? I think CG units might have started with. Oh shoot, we don't have enough. Good. Started with Reagan, I think. Yeah, I think Reagan was the first. CG character, because then it became Laswell, Rain, Fina, Dark Fina. Fine, we'll do this one. Nope, this one. And the CG units actually just kept coming. I know Cloud got one. Then again, okay, so CG units were 5-star units that were super powerful, and they had a CG cutscene when they had Limit Break. But they were still like deemed 5 stars, so they were as strong as any other 5 stars. They just looked extra fancy. But I think that started the slow cycle into overpoweredness. Because whenever a game releases something new, and it's like, oh hey, we've got all these things. Hey, let's introduce this new thing, like a CG unit. And then it's like, oh no, CG unit's are now the strongest thing. We have to one-up it. Okay, let's do 6 stars. Was it 6 stars after? Yeah, it was 6 stars after that. No. 6 stars came before. Okay, nice. 6 stars came before CG units, but when CG units came in, they then had to add 7 stars. Then they had to redo all the platform stuff because CG is bright rainbow, while 5 was purely rainbow. I think they now turned 5 stars pink, which is fitting because it's really hard to tell your 5 stars from your 7 stars when, you know, they all look the same. And then you had the Neovision, which is all the red platform, which was effectively your 8-star, 9-star, and 10-star, because you could level up Neovisions up to level 120. They get to level 150, but they had to be ascended separately than normal. Also, they get additional item slots in the form of a card that no other character can get. So, welcome to the infinite struggle of make things stronger, thing gets stronger, but now it can't be beaten, so you have to make something stronger to counteract it. Which is why I think War of the Visions is doing really well, because it's strictly sticking to the 3, 4, 5-star trait. Okay, I think we're done today, but we can always check. Because until the developers actually make it so that there is going to be what's it, a 3-star, 3-star, 4-star?
A blade.
Basically, as long as they don't add anything new, it's all fine. Which is kind of why I'm glad that Genshin isn't adding new weapon
Today
types.
is a lucky day.
Because when you begin adding something, it becomes a balancing nightmare. Because as you add things, well, things either are strong against it or weak against it. You don't want it to be too weak, so you don't want it to be countered by everyone. But at the same time, you don't want it to be literally so overpowered, you can't beat it. Which is actually, I think, an issue Fire Emblem Heroes ran into, where they made a character so blooming strong that if you set its an opposite copy against itself, effectively, you couldn't beat it, and it would just like attack, heal, attack, heal, attack, heal, and it was so tanky, did so much healing, did so much damage that you could effectively put yourself into a dead game. Or a dead game, you just had to basically quit the mission because it was effectively a loss. And I don't think... Oh, there's a... I don't think... What am I doing? Quests. Well, I definitely don't think, because I'm blanking out hardcore. Right, let's start Ito's thing. What's the time? Oh, it's nearly midnight. How much time I spent on this? Okay. Nearly an hour. So, this is the awkward part. I'm gonna have to end things here. I'll go to the teapot and finish things up. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, Fire Emblem Heroes character. So I think that character is going to get nerfed, but the point is, League of Legends is also a good example of balancing nightmares. Haha. Because generally, you want to make a really strong character, because there's no point making a character if no one's going to play it. So they need to have some sort of appeal.
If you ever had...
and need to have some form of identity. I'll say Akali as an example, where her rework made her so she was this flippy ninja, and she had her new shrouded ability, where she was shrouded and couldn't be seen from, what was it, turrets, even when acquiring aggro. So quite literally, she was invincible, and this was after the invisibility update, where Riot already said, hey, we're redoing up invisibility, where there's going to be invisibility and camouflage and stealth, which and one was for Teemo, which was, I think, camouflage, which is true invisibility, but you can't move. Stealth, which is you're invisible, but only at a certain range. This also applied to Evelyn, I think. See, if you got too close, you got seen, because you're not truly invisible. you're just you're stealthing. And then true invisibility is what Shaco had, and Old Evelyn. Actually, phone story about Old Evelyn. I think that was when Sunfire was particularly good. Because Old Evelyn, well, there were like 4 different Old Evelyns, but I think it was the first iteration of Old Evelyn. So the very first Old Evelyn, where her shroud was true invisibility. That means she couldn't be seen. That means that if she went near you and had Sunfire on, she would deal damage. And her invisibility didn't stop until she got into combat or cast a spell. But Sunfire wouldn't trigger it because I think it was a coding oversight. So you could technically have an Evelyn run up to an enemy laner, and they would just start burning for some reason. And it's like, oh god, why are you burning and dying? And they couldn't do anything about it because they were just taking damage. What could you do? But no, later on they made that change where it's like you've got stealth, camouflage, and invisibility. And then they reworked Akali, and I was like, okay, so W introduces Shroud, which is a new type of invisibility, which obscured Towered Sight, True Sight, and I think the only way you could see Akali was by having a sweeper, which only showed her outline, which allowed her to tower dive really safely, which meant if you were low on health, all she would have to do is walk up to you, W, and start attacking you. Which, by the way, her E can be used on her shroud to go back to it. So even if you ran to the other tower, she could E away from her shroud, which would send a shuriken going there to make her safety, ult to you, kill you, E back, and she was safe. And it took a little bit of fan complaining to kind of reel back shrouding, so I think it just became invisibility. But I think True Sight, like Twisted Fate, can actually reveal it, which is why I think Twisted Fate is decent into Akali. Although Twisted Fate is really weak, so you would just get killed by an Akali. Because Akali's strong, for no reason. That's great.
A blade embraces its duty.
Anyway, I have no idea how I got into this topic. But I guess it's better than not having a topic at all. Anyway, I'm going to call that it for today. Tomorrow we're going to be doing more grinding, trying to get Razor up, and we'll do Ito's storyline, because I haven't done that yet. And that's going to be fun. So I'll try to start streaming at 10 tomorrow UK time. I hope. I think. If I can do it early, I'll do it early. If I do it late, I'll do it late. 9:30 to 10:30 is basically when I start streaming. So anyway, I'm going to call it there.